I'm Lauren Paget, Assistant Curator of Collections. Since Fountains Café closed in 2023, Bradford District Museums and Galleries have been working with the family that owned it so that we can acquire some of the material culture of the cafe so that it can enter our collection to be preserved for future generations. After months of planning, we were able to put some of these objects out on display in February. The mural and the painting that was on display in the cafe. We've got the interior and exterior signage. We also have some crockery and a table and chair set. It's Sunday the 16th of March and I'm on site about to meet members of the family who ran Fountains Café for 3 generations and for 55 years. I'm really excited to meet them and hear what they think about the display, as it'll be the first time that they've seen it here. Let's head down and meet them. Well, around 10 members of the family have arrived today to see it, spanning 3 generations, and it's been so lovely to hear them talk about Fountains Café and the new display here. So we have Mary, who I hope doesn't mind me telling you this, is 90 years old, and she originally set up Fountains Café with her husband Paul in 1968, and we also have her son Chris, and they've kindly agreed to sit down with me for a chat. So Mary told us about the other establishments that came before Fountains Café and how there was a disaster in its early days.
My dad used to have a cafe which is now part of the Alhambra. It's going up Godwin Street, is it?
Morley Street.
Morley Street, sorry.
Oh, okay.
So,
above the Alhambra.
Above the Alhambra. So they used to have a cafe called Metropolis.
That was our first one.
That was the first one, first cafe.
In Bradford. Metropolis, it was the Continental up Godwin Street.
Right.
And then we got the Fiesta on Market Street.
So the Continental was a...
The Continental then, we opened downstairs, the first part in the basement, as Romantica Club. And then we knocked a hole through the wall further up the street in the basement and made it the hole in the wall. Disco. And then the Fountains was the last one we opened.
Yeah, I was born in 1968, so the Fountains opened. It was when, in the old John Street Market.
Mm-hmm. And then we got burnt down in the fire, great fire. Horrendous.
But certainly the Fountains, they've retained you've retained the character, haven't you, since it?
We've retained it all the while. Even after the fire, we got back to the same structure and everything.
Fantastic.
So the decor is very retro, late 60s, which is obviously, it's timeless, to be quite honest with you. Some would say that, it needs an upgrade, but obviously that's what's the attraction is for a lot of the old Bradfordians and even new Bradfordians.
It was a really nice set of customers we had. Regulars, old and young, and each generation came one after the other, grandparents, mothers and children.
Fantastic. Over the years, they had some famous faces.
So they had the Metropolis, and obviously David Hockney, when he was not well known, used to come in, and he used to do sketches on the napkins that they had. And my dad used to thought, oh, rubbish, and threw them away.
Oh, I know.
Because he knew him quite well. And other film crews that were attracted to the Fountains purely and simply because of the decor inside. And when you're looking at a film set and you're doing a 70s style, 80s style or 60s style film or documentary, it saves building a film set when you can just, you've got it already there for you. So we had, as you're probably aware, the Great Train Robbery is part 1 and 2. And then part 2 was Jim Broadbent. He was there, and obviously I remember upstairs they had the green room where they used to sit outside in the old courtyard. I remember Jim Broadbent being sat there, in between his scenes, and had a chat with him, and lovely chap. And he remembered the old Greek-Turkish cafes in Bradford when he was younger. We had Maxine Peake there, she was filming Funny Cow as well, the film. She came, Maxine Peake. She met my mum.
Mary talks about how it was hard work and all the family used to pitch in to help.
It is hard work, is catering.
It's very hard.
Yes.
And,
when you're making all different dishes, moussaka, lasagna, braised steak, you know,
Lusaka.
it'll take time,
Lusaka was
time consuming.
yeah.
All the
Grandma and
children that
granddad's.
have worked in the school holidays,
Oh, okay.
you know, everything, they've all helped. And Saturdays, if we've been stuck, they've come and helped.
So we had to come on, you know, when we were a bit older, we had to come on the bus onto the cafe and work in the cafe even on Saturdays, you know, as just so we've lived and breathed that cafe environment for a long, long time, many years, and to the extent where I got my own job, but I always used to go in on a Saturday to help out, even when I was working full time, because obviously you just have it in your blood, really. I mean, you've enjoyed it, haven't you?
I've enjoyed every minute of it, you know. It was hard work then. We used to work hard, go work all day, come home, get the kids ready for bed, get my aunt to the babysitter, get ready, go out to a dinner dance, or I'd have a dinner party. It was nice when we finished not to do bookkeeping.
So my mum was still involved, weren't
Until
you? Right to the end.
23.
Yeah. So she used to do all the books still, even when she was, you know, 84, 85. She was still involved, weren't you?
Yes.
Still used to go into the cafe, still, you know, speak to the customers, walk around, didn't you?
Yes.
So...
Then my son Michael, he ran it for me,
yeah,
didn't he?
Yeah.
I just supervised it all.
He was there right to the very, very end. I think a lot of our customers up to the end will know Michael well.
I think that's what makes it so unique, is the three generations
Yes.
of you know, members of the family running it and having that kind of personal link and connection to it, and the kind of the consistency for customers as well going in. You know, it didn't matter whether they were going in one day and then, you know, 55 years later, it's still the same family behind it.
Correct. No, it's true.
I mean, when I used to go in, I used to pop in, you know, just to check everything. And the customers say, "Mary's here, look at Mary."
That mini celebrity when you walk in.
But even, I mean, the great testimony, when my dad sadly passed away, that the Telegraph and Argus did a big piece on the front page, which was nice, because everybody knew it in the market in Bradford. And I think as well, the beauty about it was that they always related to my mum and dad, didn't they?
Yeah.
Everybody used to, you know, my dad used to sit in the window on his chair looking outside all the time, and he always used to wear a suit.
When we was in the closed cafe unit taking the objects out, people were bobbing in, you know, what you doing, what's going on here? So we were telling them, and someone had said that and said, this is the window and the chair that the owner used to sit in. Other people remember.
Always a suit and tie.
That's right. I mean, he was 89 when he died, but he was still working in, you know, he'd go to the cafe right when he was about 88, still there, you know, every day. Obviously sat on his chair and he'd get up and down and meet the customers. You can see his head print actually at the back of the Formica.
Yeah, we saw that. So the two big questions that I had were, why was Fountains called Fountains, and who did the mural and the painting of the fountains?
The reason why it was called the Fountains, because obviously, you may not know this, but there was a fountain in the entrance of the market. So the original market had a fountain
before the
in it.
fire.
Could you tell me a little bit about the artwork, about the artist behind it?
It was Georgiou from Halifax. He did that, and he had a fountain, and we had water coming from underneath, and it came round and down into the fountains, and it kept doing that, circulating all the while. And we had lights onto it. He put lights onto it, and it was fantastic. And then the fire came. He didn't want to replace it. And so he did one of the Italian fountains. He used to do the Victoria Theatre scenery for there. That's how.
Yeah,
We
I
found
can
him.
see that now, with the painting in particular.
Yes,
It does look like
he
a
used to do
backdrop.
scenery, for the theatres.
What did the family think of the new display?
That's what I think Bradford's all about. You know, you've got to retain your character, you've got to retain your nostalgia, because once it's gone, it's gone. Which is why it's really good that the fountains interior and a bit of the exterior has been retained. And it's testimony to Bradford Council, Bradford Museums, that this has happened.
Thank you. A massive thank you to Chris and Mary there for being so generous in sharing all of their stories and memories about Fountains Café with us. A big thank you to the family for all their support throughout this process. And if you haven't seen it yet, get yourself down to Bradford Industrial Museum and see the new Fountains Café display.